So this is the third installment of Getting to Know God. And if I was going to give it a subtitle, it would be The Spiritual Disciplines Can Help You in Times of Adversity. So the great example of this we can find in the book of Daniel, chapter 3, verse 16. Now keep in mind that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego had been through a lot already. Right? The entire nation of Israel was invaded, sacked, and they were all dragged over to Babylon. So there's that. And then they were taken aside to be servants of King Nebuchadnezzar. And so they passed the test of not eating things that violated their law. Now they're going to be tested as far as worshiping other gods, which they're not going to do. So King Nebuchadnezzar has this great idea that he's going to make a statue to himself, and every time you hear music, you're supposed to bow down. Well, these three are not going to do that, okay? It's just not going to happen. And so word gets back to Nebuchadnezzar that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego are not worshiping his statue. And so he calls them in and gives them a chance to correct their behavior. And they said, hey, our God will deliver us from the furnace. And if he doesn't, we're still not going to worship other gods. Well, Nebuchadnezzar is very mad. He orders that the furnace be fired up 3 times the normal heat. And he ties the 3 up, and he has his soldiers throw them in the furnace. Well, because the furnace is so hot that the flames consumed all the soldiers that threw the guys into the furnace. And so already you start to see the hand of God in this. And so Nebuchadnezzar is watching. I guess he wants to see these guys burn, but it's not happening. In fact, now there's 4 guys in the furnace, and they're all walking around. So, King Nebuchadnezzar, the Bible says, was astounded. And so he looks over to the people who are near him and goes, then we throw 3 guys in there all tied up? Yes. And so they're walking around. They're doing all right. So this gets Nebuchadnezzar's attention. And in fact, eventually he'll be saved in a Jewish sense. So he blesses the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego because their God sent an angel that saved them. And he goes further. He makes an edict. He says anyone who says anything bad about the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, he's going to tear him limb from limb. And so it sounds extreme, but obviously this event got Nebuchadnezzar's attention. And I think that's the point. When you stand firm in your faith, the sooner you get to the point where you can stand firm in your faith, people will take notice. And they may not agree with you, but they do take notice. And in the case of Nebuchadnezzar, eventually he gets saved. All right, until next time.